What's up, guys? Nostal-Gi-Oh here, back with another market watch video for Yu-Gi-Oh! As most of you probably know, the Banlist just happened, and kind of did a lot of, crazy things. It put a lot of cards off the list, cards like Change of Heart and Yata and old things just, going up one in the list. A lot of semi-limited cards went to 3, a lot of cards that were at 1 went to 2, and a lot of stuff like that. But there were also some big bans, things like Auroradon and Prank Kids, Meow Meow, and Verte Anaconda. So a lot of big things happened over this, the ban list stuff. And we've got a really, really big market watch to get through today. I have an insane amount of tabs open. So we're going to go through it right now. It's going to be a little brief descriptions, a lot of them, but a lot of like, where are they? Where were they when the ban list happened? Because if you didn't know, it happened like a day or two ago. Was it 2 days ago? I think it was 2 days ago. Anyway, let's get into it. So starting it all off, we have Change of Heart. This is kind of a no-brainer. This card is like very, very similar to Snatch Steal. This happened back in like 2014, 2015, in like Necros format, and that was really insane of a thing to happen. Snatch Steal just went off the list and then immediately got banned again in the next format. I don't really think that's gonna happen this time. Like, I don't think like Change of Heart's gonna like be too relevant. It's probably gonna just be like a side deck card. It's like whatever, right? It's probably not going to be that big of a deal. So I don't think this is going to get like rebanned, but this card is it spiked a lot. I mean, here we go. The secret rare was like $15-20 for near mid first and stuff like that. And now we have the first light play first is at $81. And look at this. There's sales. There's like a lot of sales. There's like a lot of sales, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, pretty wild. Like an insane amount of sales. So that's the secret. So secret Change of Heart is just expensive now. You have those, and sweet. Metal Raiders ones, like damaged. Let's just like go to like respectable. Light play unlim like 30, and light play first ed is a ridiculous number, like 250, 350. What about near mid first ed? Or are you? Do you exist? 450. Okay, cool. So you got first ed copies of this, and sweet. You got even on limbs. They're still really nice. 30 to 60. Light play near mint. DB is around the same. Honestly, like DB1 copies are pretty much the same. We have a light play here at 60. Not really, right? But we have like light play copies here around 70. So just across the board, really expensive. Foil copies of Change of Hearts. If you have foil copies of Change of Hearts, it's sweet. You have like even battle pack rares and stuff. Nice. Old commons, once again, are also still very nice. I mean, they were like practically bulk, and now they're, respectable copies. Light play on limbs are around like 3s, and first ed, light plays are around like 4. You want to go all the way up to near mint, then do what you want. It's like $10 for that difference from light play to near mint. I think most people would just go for light play there, but it's a lot of near mint snobs as well, and I don't blame them. You keep your cards nice, it's okay. Anyway, that's enough talking about Change of Heart. Let's go on from there. Next we have Yata. Yata is an interesting case. The secret rares didn't go up too insane from where they were, to be honest, which is kind of interesting. They just had such a huge amount of them, and the players that did have a huge amount of them had like an insanely huge amount of them. As we see here, light play first edition 140. 13 copies. There's a lot of hoarders for this card, and that's, cool. Good on them. We've got near mint first edition copies sitting here around 210-ish, 215. Moves pretty quickly up to 250, but, you got to have like 5 or 6 people that really want it first to get it up to that 250 mark. And then looking at on limbs, near mints, we've got about 100 on those, which is pretty cool. And light play, looking at around 50, 55, 60, pretty much. So pretty cool. You got secret Yata sitting around. I have one light play on limb in my cube, which is pretty cool. Come on, get out of here. Okay, commons. As far as commons go, though, we do have $10 copies that are like heavy on limb and stuff like that. So once we go to more respectable copies, light play on limb is about 12. This only comes on limb. And then the other one that was DB, so here we have retro pack, that's also only comes near on limb. So looking at light play around 12, near mid's probably 15, 20, maybe 14. So yeah, every common copy of Yata, you're looking at 10 to 12, 15 for light play better, which is pretty cool. So we got a lot of Yata stuff. Next we have Jet Syncron, and this card has been lifted off the ban list, which is really cool because this card facilitates a lot of really nice things. A lot of players have now figured out the Hulk combos, new age, where you go Hulk, summon Jet Syncron, link it into Linkaribo, and then special the Jet Syncron back, and then you have a Dagda. So then on their turn, you tag out your Hulk, make the Dagda Chainlink 2, and then you bring out Wonder Magician, pop your set Dagda, and then not Dagda, pop your set Scythe, you Scythe lock your opponent, and then you activate Wonder Magician and go into Baron on their turn. So it's a really cool combo, and Jet Synchron's pretty nice. I think a lot of the Red Rose Synchro stuff, or just like, Hulk combo decks in general, are going to move more so towards this Jet Synchron base. Just one in the deck, I think, is this though only once per game, or it's just banished? It's just banished. So that's not bad. I think Jet Syncron will definitely see a lot of play. And the super price does definitely show that. This is a fake listing. I tried to buy this already. Everybody probably has. You can't buy it. So the actual near mint first is at $8, which is pretty cool. It was like $1, and now it's $8. I have one of these in my cube as well, but I'm not going to sell that one. This is just my copy. Which is cool. Next, we have Pot of Desires, and this card, as most of you know, it went from 1 on the ban list to 2. I think Konami really realized that, oh wow, this was dumb. Why did we hit this card to 1? It's a really fair card. Only not most decks can play it, and the decks that can utilize it can kind of get screwed over by it sometimes. So I think this card being at 2 on the list is completely fair. I think it should just be at 3, but that's okay. We do have a lot of expensive copies really just surging up. Nothing too crazy. But we see, all these prices are over market price, which kind of indicates that they're being bought up a little bit. A couple of these pretty low on listings, actually all of them. 25 alties left on the market. Only one page of hundreds. They're still 100, which is, about what they were. They were like 80 to 100 before they got limited, and then it went down all the way to like, what, 60? 60. So if you guys were getting, your copies when they were at 60, maybe you're even vendors and getting your around that 70-80% price, 60 even, like at $60 price point, like that's really good. So you have some alti desires. Well, they're back to 100, where they're back to the price point where they deserve to be, where they should be. And this card should go to 3, and then maybe somebody will finally say, oh, this card shouldn't be only $100. Might take going to 3. Next we have CR, copies of Pot of Desires, and I'm not gonna lie, I think this is pretty inferior to alti, and I think most people agree. I do think this is cooler than Secret OG though, but OG first, like, that's a respectable copy as well. Like that's a fair, pick. Next we have the first edition CRs. We have 1 or 2 listings at 100. Not a bad buy when the next one's at 115 and then 123. It kind of just like goes up from there to 140, 150. So maybe that's not a bad buy if you do use my TCG affiliate link. I tried to wink there. Dude, I can't wink. There we go. Okay. So yeah, pretty good. CR Pot of Desires. It's cool. It's a cool copy. Unlims like 80, 90. We do have Secret OG first as well. Let's check the first editions here. Looking around $40, $43, which is pretty cool. And Unlims, there's just like not many of them, so like whatever. So yeah, that is Pot of Desires. We also do have the Ultra from Tin surging up a little bit back into its $6-7 range. Which is cool. It was sitting a little bit lower. It was like $2 or $3. Now back to $6, which is a pretty fair price point for an ultra rare Pot of Desires, in my opinion. Next, we have Trishala. It went from 1 to 3 on the list, and look at these listings. Very low amount of listings, above market price. Only really here, because that first one's like a damaged listing. No, it's not. It's light play. Okay, so we have 3 different forms of Trishala that are really high rarity, and then you have your secrets from like the original, and your new DT and BLR, Ultra, or Secret, I guess. All those down there. But the 3 big ones, we have the OG DT, huge card. This, I don't think this is really like surging up in price. It's kind of just been high for a while. And, I think most of the people that are like that are trying to play like triple Trish Omega spam, they're probably not going to splurge for 3 of these. But maybe the Ulti, maybe the Starlight. Starlight here is actually pretty cheap in my opinion. We have a lot of light play copies around 200, and then near mint copies all the way up here at 225, 230. So pretty nice. It's really not that expensive for a Starlight as Trishala Starlight. I think that's fairly cheap. And we've also got Trishala Altis. Not really going up too much. We do have a good bit of sales today and yesterday, like a handful of sales, not an insane amount. But I mean, look at the listings. It doesn't take that many more sales for this card to jump up a lot more. We have a lot of like 200 and 270. 170 is really the standard here, about 170, couple for 200. And now we're seeing the lowest near mint copy at 275. So a nice little $100 jump there in the Ulti Trish. So you have these, sweet, if you want them. It might not be a bad time to buy them. I mean, there's two. It's obviously the worst time to buy them because they're the most expensive. But this card I could definitely believe to be like $400 or $500, but not until the Starlight is. Starlight is higher rarity than Ulti. Not everybody agrees that it's cooler and better, but it is technically max rarity. Something to keep in mind. That's Trish. Next, we've got Monkey Board Super. It's really calmed down from its crazy price that it was yesterday. We have a lot of sales here at 8. It really seems to be an $8 card now, which is good because at first it was like 12. You know, and then we probably saw a lot of purchases around that. We have one here, $11.50, a lot of $10, a lot of 11s, a lot of 12s, a handful of 12s here. You know, people got impatient. They wanted their $12, $13 monkey boards. It's at 1. We really, you know, we see this, you know, 1 more day, 2 more days, it's back down to 8. So, you know, a lot of the time this this ban list hype really surges cards up insane in price, and then, you know, $8 is really where it should be. So I think that's fair. I think that's a good price for Monkey Board. Honestly, I don't really have much more Pendulum stuff, but I'm sure there's other Pendulum stuff. I know some of the Magician stuff just is surging up a little bit. Not going crazy, but it is going up. I think like Oath Dragon and Wisdom Eye just have a lot lower quantities. So, you know, that's definitely something that... Why would I think Wisdom would come up? Wisdom Eye, yeah. Very low listings. Very, very low listings. Nice little price surge. Nothing too crazy, but a good bit of like buys recently. And honestly, it's not really going up. It's really just like going down in listings, which is, you know, equivalent to going up basically, but like not really. Anyway, that is the majority of our ban list stuff. Now we're going to have winners of the ban list and just cards that are expensive right now. First off, we're going to start off Therion King Regulus. This card was pre-selling at around the $40 mark here, as you can see. Started at 60, 70, didn't really get many sales, comes down here to 40, and now people are realizing, oh, this shit's good. We still have Hulk. Hulk is a machine. Hulk is a machine. So, you know, this is pretty cool for that. We have a lot of random little things that Therions can be good with, and I think a lot of people are really liking the Therion Punk. I'm trying to get this green because, oh, that's why. I don't have my other light on. That's why it was shadowed. Anyway, I think people are finally starting to realize these Therion cards are good, and we're way too cheap. Now, as far as Regulus goes, at least, it's $40. It's the king of the set. I mean, honestly, what other card in the set is, like, even that good? I mean, obviously, we have the new Fusion. That's all right. We've got the new Punk cards. They're pretty damn good. Like, there's a lot of things in the set that are good. The Pendulum support is good. Like, there's a lot of good stuff in the set, but I think Therion King Regulus is insane. Also, another thing to add about this card being so good is it doesn't negate the activation. It just negates that effect, which is, like, really relevant for Branded Lost. Because it's when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can negate that effect, not the activation. So they have Branded Lost on the field. You can still negate Branded Fusion. You can still negate the Branded Red. This card is just like really good against that and that deck, and that deck is really good. I mean, it's the best deck probably. You know, without like actually exploring the format from like, you know, the outside view, you can just assume Despy is probably the best deck in the format right now, at least like at first. But I think a lot of people are really, you know, not going to underestimate this Therion King Regulus Punk Hulk spam combo deck. I think there's a lot of promise for this card. Also, the Sun Avalon deck plays this card, but usually only at 1. And then also there's like ABC and Earth Machine that are going to play this. So I just think this card going, you know, to its $60 to $70 price tag is correct. I think $60 is correct for this card. I got one. I tried to cop a set, but nobody pulled them at my I went to 2 pre-releases. I tried to get this card. I only could get one. Fortunately, I got it when it was at $40, and I bought it for like $32 or something. So that's pretty good now, but, you know, I really wanted 3 because I had faith in this card being more expensive than $40. Like, I did. So whatever. And then we also have Borea. the Lily Borea, and this card has just gone down so far. I still think this card is too cheap because I think the plant deck is really good. But, you know, high quantities and low amount of people actually looking for this card just leaves it down here at 15. There's another card that it was pre-selling at 35, and I bought one for 25, and now it's 15. So that kind of sucks. But I needed it to play. So that's kind of like that's the thing about pre-sales, is that's why they sell so much, because people want to get them to play. Yeah, that makes sense. I want to play this plant deck. It's cool. Plant Link is really cool. Sun Avalon is good. A lot of that stuff went up too. Actually, you know what? While we're on the topic, let's go ahead and just look at this. Bengal Lancer, the Resurgent. This card has gone way up. It's like $8 now, which is crazy. It was like a $2 card. A lot of sales at this price point. Even some insane people buying the card at 15. But yeah, that is one that went a lot up. And one of the other ones is Jasmine, Aromatherapy Jasmine. This is another card that could go up a lot more potentially as well. It's from one of those legendary Dupo sets, the Dupo, Duav, Dude, you know, the Do sets. There's only 36 listings, 4 pages. A lot of these sold in the last, you know, week or two, planning out this Sun Avalon deck. So, you know, it went from like $6. Now it's sitting at 10, like happily sitting at 10. So just a couple, you know, plant things going up a lot. Also, we have the Rika cards. We have Teardrop around $40 and Snowdrop around $8, $10, around $10 actually. So just across the board, some really cool Rika stuff going up, and plant stuff in general. I'm going to leave it at that for the plant stuff. I know there's probably a couple more, but we'll continue on. It's going to be a long video. We're already at 16 minutes. I'm about halfway through my stuff, my tabs. Anyway, we got Sword Soul Moye. This card, all the Sword Soul stuff is going up, as we can see here. It was sitting around $20 to $24. Now sitting sales 50 today, 46, 40, 40, 40, 45, 50, 45, 45, 50, 70, because this guy is insane. You know, a lot of stuff like that. But it was sitting very happily around that $22 mark. We do have a couple other Sword Soul cards going up as well. So just, you know, if you have a Sword Soul deck, good job. You stuck it out and you held the deck, and now it's one of the best in the format once again. It kind of already was sitting pretty nice in the format. You know, it has a pretty fair matchup against the Despia deck as well as the other decks in the format. It's all right against Flanders. It's not great, but it's not bad. You have just a lot of things in the format that this deck has the tools to answer. So, you know, people are wanting to play this deck again after the ban list. They hit everything but Despia and Sword Soul and Flanders. So, of course, those decks are going to go up. It only makes sense, right? So, yeah, we have Moye. We also have Ecclesia, and we're going to talk about the Starlight after, but we are going to talk about the Secret first. We have Incredible Ecclesia. One guy has a set of them at 55 light play. And then the first verified near mint first is $70, which is absolutely insane. This card was sitting around like 50, 55, and now the lowest near mint first edition verified, $70. Pretty wild. Pretty small listings, not like really low listings, but not a lot of listings. And then we also have the Starlight for Ecclesia, which I think is really cheap compared to where it should be or where it could potentially be. Now we do have a good bit of sales, maybe not like a super amount of sales in the last days, but the overlap, this card is actually a really relevant card in the Despia strategy as well. Being able to recur every single turn, be a light that you can send from Branded Fusion. A lot of players don't really love Snow, but I think Snow is still a really valuable card in that deck. However, I think this card is still definitely worth considering. It's also a level 4 tuner. It can, you know, special itself out. It can then, going second, it can be really good. You can special summon it out and then tribute it and special out the Fallen of Albaz, bait a negate or bait a DPE. Never mind, not bait a DPE because DPE is barely in the format anymore. So pretty wild overall. 350. This was sitting around like 300. No, not really. There were a couple sales at 300. Somebody got lucky and bought a set of them at 200. I would have bought a set of these cards at $200, I think. But yeah, a lot of 350s and 315s and stuff sales. So this card's sitting at 350. It's not really going up from where it is before. But 26 listings, that's not a huge amount of listings. It's, you know, an Ecclesia card. A lot of people, you know, love Ecclesia cards. Waifu stuff. I don't want to say waifu because this character might be 3 years old. I don't know. But a lot of people think it could be. But hey, Ecclesia is pretty cool. People call Ray, you know, I'm not even going to get into all that stuff, but, you know, that could be an additional tax for this card. This card could definitely be 500, 700 to a K in the future. I definitely think I could definitely see that. Sword Soul is going to remain relevant for a long time. Fallen Valbaz is about to get an ulti. You're going to want the, you know, the max rarity players are going to want the ulti Albaz Starlight Ecclesia in their deck, and it's just going to be cool. So yeah, I think this is pretty relevant. Next we have Baron de Fleur. In this card, look at the listings, guys. Look at the listings. 26. That's a low amount of listings. We have the first light play first edition here at 120. But then we have a near mid first at 120 as well. It's sitting around 120, but not like a huge amount of listings until you get to this Gamer's Choice, who just has 32 of them for some reason. But hey, 125. It's not bad. So Baron is just creeping, just continues to creep. I'm really considering selling mine at 120, 130, but I don't think it's bad to just hold on to. I got it when it was like 90. So yeah, I don't know. I think I should probably hold on to this card. It's really good. It facilitates a lot of really good strategies. Sword Soul, you know, Auroradon like stuff is gone. The Red Rose stuff is a lot less powerful in the format. But with that being said, I think Baron is going to remain a mainstay and good extra decks that can support it. So I don't see this guy really going down much. I don't see it getting reprinted anytime soon. Like, I mean, the only place it would get like reprinted is in like a Brothers set or like a Maximum Gold next year, something like that. So I think this card's pretty safe for a good while. It's not gonna be in the tins. It's, you know, I think it's a pretty safe card for a while. But you know, don't be mad at me if you don't sell it and then it gets reprinted next week. I don't know. It's Konami. They still just randomly do that kind of stuff all the time. Next we have DPE. This card is just going down. It makes sense. I mean, Anaconda's gone. You have to hard draw the Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny. Now you have 2 copies of Fusion Destiny and 2 bricks in your deck. DPE is just much less powerful. I think there's a couple of ways to make this really good still. We have Elba Lenidus, the new you know, fusion for Albaz in the new secret from Daifo. That can facilitate this a little easier. It can set it or search Fusion Destiny at the end of the turn, which is a really good thing to do for sure, you know. But with that being said, you still have to add 2 bricks to your deck, and you have to play 2. And I think the regular just Despia deck is more gassy. I think it doesn't need this stuff. Nobody's playing it. Nobody was playing it with Anaconda. So I don't really see that happening, but you still have things like Pot of Prosperity, play it in, you know, the Shadow, DPE, Invoker, you know, that mess of pile of cards, of fusion stuff. DPE could still fit in there, especially with like Pot of Prosperity and Alba Lenidus with the Dogmatica cards. There's like a lot of ways to make this still good, but this card sitting at $70 makes a lot of sense. It's not going to be in every deck anymore. It's going to be in like, I mean, realistically, it's going to be in like 10% of the decks that played it before. You know, because it's not just, you know, oh, my play got stopped, 2 monsters on my board turned into Vert. You know, oh, you used your Imperm on the wrong guy, buddy. Now I get a DPE, draw 2 next turn. Wow, I'm good at the game. This card's gone. Not really, but Anaconda's gone, which was the main way to facilitate this card, so this card feels pretty gone to me personally. Anyway, that is DPE. Next, we've got TG Wonder Magician. This is quite the card. A lot of people are really hyping this card up to be an incredible card. This format, it's, you know, one of the main ways to really utilize Hulk, not Hulk, Scythe. Artifact Scythe didn't get banned, guys. You love that. You love to see it. Artifact Scythe didn't get banned. It's understandable. It hasn't really been being played in recent days. However, it always will show its, you know, ugly face with Dagda and cards like this. We don't have DPE nearly as accessible to, you know, do that quick play pop to set our Scythe in motion. But we do have cards like this, the TG Wonder Magician. I was talking about it when I talked about Jet Syncron today. Why did I do that? I was talking about it with the Jet Syncron. There's a really cool play. You make Hulk, you bring out the Jet Syncron, you end on Dagda, and then on their turn, you tag out your Hulk, summon the Wonder Magician, pop your Scythe, go ahead and Scythe lock, and then you make Baron. So that's really good with this deck, or with this card. And look at that. Look at that. Alties are gone. Phantasm Gaming. You guys know it. You guys know what's up. 5 of them near mint first listings. That's how it goes, boys. We have a lot of sales here. A lot of MP first at like around that $30 price. Near mint first. Good job. That was a good buy. But that was the case for a lot of these things the last couple days. Not the last couple days, just on 17. So here, right around here, we see a lot of 35, 50, 30, 30. LP first 35. So a lot of $35 to $40 sales. However, in the most recent of times, we do have a handful of sales. We do have one near mint here at $100 price tag, and a near mint unlimited at that $70 price tag. So there are a couple sales. Not many, but there are a couple. Now we also have the secret being bought out to pretty wild proportions. It was like $3-4. It was like $4, $4-5. Now sitting pretty nice at that $15 price tag, and I think this is a pretty realistic price tag for this to really land at. And other than that, you have your OG Ultra sitting pretty all right, $4-5. You have your BLR Ultra sitting at like $1, and then your commons they're commons from an OTS pack that's recent, so they're bulk. So yeah. Next we have Foxy Tune, and this is a really cool card. We have Deer Note now, which facilitates that Mill 9 combo, where you make the Chaos Ruler and then you overlay into Zombie Vampire, and that's pretty cool. And this stuff sets that up really well. Foxy Tune is the main card that you need. It's kind of expensive. It's sitting around $80 for the CR. It was around like $50 for the CR. It even was $30 at one point in its lifespan. That you'll never find again. But $80, pretty wild. Makes me really glad that I sold. Wait, I never had this card. I don't know what I'm talking about. I only ever had ultras. Anyway, yeah, we go really far back here, and there's a lot of 30s, 35s. So, when that first came out, that was like a $35 card, and we even see some here, like 16 damage. What's this damage? So yeah, pretty wild. But we do have regular ultra copies here at like $18 as well, which is pretty cool. Card's pretty good. Deer Note is pretty nice. Next we have Solitaire, Shiranui Solitaire, and Unizombie. Random zombie stuff going up a little bit. I don't really see why. Maybe it's good. I don't know. It's cool though. It's for sure cool. We have both the ultras sitting here around $9. Went up from the about $5-6 that it was. Not huge price increases, but it's pretty relevant. Excuse me. We do have commons from the structure deck as well, sitting at $6, which is pretty relevant for that common from the structure deck. But I would go for the OG ultras. I think at this price point, when the price difference is 6 in the common to 9 from the OG ultra, I think this is what I'd go for if this actually sees a lot of play. It actually already does move up really fast. We have like a $7 light play here, a $9 near mint, and then a $10, and then an $11, and then a $12, and then it just goes up each dollar, each listing, each dollar, and it hits 15 on the first page. So I think this is probably not bad. I mean, obviously I'm not saying to go buy them at $9 when they were just $5 or $6, but hey, it's still something to keep in mind. Next we have Unizombie, and ultra rare listings are just very, very seldom on here now. 22 listings. We have a bunch of them at $2-3, which is pretty cool. But it disappears very quickly, and we do have super rare Unizombies as well. Pretty crazy penny stonk, but we do have high amounts of them here. So I'm not saying go buy them all right now, but if you find them, probably not a bad penny stonk. I don't know. This card's insane. So, and this card is Lone Fire for this card, which is insane. So, yeah, I don't know. That stuff's cool. Next, we have Trickstar stuff. This stuff is all just going up a bit. We do have Ulti Lycris, obviously. This was the obvious one. All the time, right around the ban list, people expect Light Stage to come off the list a little bit. So this card always goes up a little bit as well. Now we have $55, $55, $55, and then it's $80 and $100, all on one page. So not a bad card. Probably not a bad pickup around this 55. But with that being said, it was just like 40. So you have to weigh, well, do I want this card at 55 when it was just 40, but it could be more potentially. And I think this stuff is good. I mean, it can still do the droll and reincarnation play, which is just stupid. We have cards like Korriban just going up from $1. It was $1. Is this real? Maybe this is a good buy. This is definitely a good buy. And then there's 5s and 7s and 10s. So yeah, you should probably buy that. Those 5 there. Maybe I'll buy them after this. We'll see. But yeah, that's Trickstar stuff. We got secret reincarnations as well, just like surging up a little bit. They're at their market price. Pretty low listings from where they were. And then we got some light stages, Starfoils like $2-3. We got ultras. OGs are only still like $2. That could be good. Maybe, I don't know. But Trickstar stuff is definitely cool, and I think a lot of people are going to try to explore it. Maybe with the branded cards in their deck. Maybe with the... you can't really, like, vert into, like, DPE/Dragoon anymore with this deck, which I know they, like, tried to do before. But now we have a second light stage, so the deck's just, like, a little more consistent and pretty cool. So I like this deck. I'm a pretty big fan of this deck. I didn't even play when it was good. I just think this deck's cool. Next, we have Rite of Arimaseer and Water Enchantress. These are the last cards we're going to be covering today. 0 Brave hits on, the Brave engine, the Adventure Token engine. 0 hits. No hits. A lot of people were expecting them to go to 2/2. Maybe Rite to 1. Maybe Water Enchantress to 1. I don't know. A lot of people wanted this hit in some capacity. Even Griffin Ban people wanted. So, a lot of different things that could have happened to this. Nothing happened to this. Let's go ahead and hit refresh to see if there were any more. Nope. So we have here sitting around $54, $55 rights, and Water Enchantress sitting around the same, like $50. You know, you have a couple 53, 54. So both are around 55, which I think is a pretty fair price tag. What's that? 360 or like 350. Realistically, you're looking at around 350, maybe a little less for this this engine. So you had a lot of people on Facebook groups and stuff selling them at around 200, 220 just a week ago, and I was one of those people that was looking at those and wanted to buy it, and then I was like, I'll wait for the ban list, and then now it's 350. So I don't know. We'll see on the ban list or on the Brave stuff. I don't think this stuff's really going to go down unless it just like has no showing. But I think Brave decks are still going to be really good. You have the Titan in the format, Despia, and you have like Sword Soul and stuff in the format as well. But I think Brave decks are still going to be really, really powerful. Red Rose went to 1. It's still small worldable. It's still Pot of Prosperity-able. You also have your 1 Hulk that can bring out your 1 Red Rose. So I think all the Brave decks are still going to be really good. Obviously not Prank. RIP to Prank Kids. But yeah, pretty good. Overall, big market watch today. That was everything. We are at 32 minutes. That's a long video. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, comment. We have a lot more, content coming soon. So just make sure to subscribe, for the market watches and the Yu-Gi-Oh videos and the Master Duel videos. A lot of different stuff on the channel. Anyway, that's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And also, of course, as always, I do have a TCG affiliate link in the description. It costs you no extra time or money to just click on it, shop, check out. Directly supports the channel, and I really appreciate it when you do that. And I see that some people are using it. I have a dashboard. I can see that. So to the people that use it, just know that it's crazy. You're crazy. You're awesome. Anyway, that's it. Have a good day. Goodbye.